Greetings, Father Joe here, your friendly neighborhood pastor, coming to you from St. Patrick's Church in lovely Highland Mills, New York. Today is the feast of Saints Peter and Paul. I thought we would focus on the two gospel readings, the gospel from the vigil and from the actual feast day. We have Jesus speaking to his disciples at Caesarea, and he says, "Who do you say that I am?" And Peter says, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." And Jesus first says, "Well, you are rock." It's a bit of an explanation, so I'm not going to do that. You are rock, and upon this rock I will build my church. But I think sometimes we miss the next thing that Jesus says. He says, "And I give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven. What you bind will be bound, what you loose will be loosed." And there was an office or a role of opening and closing the temple in ancient Israel. And so when Jesus says that he is laying on his shoulder the keys to the kingdom of heaven, one, we can see that this is an extension of an office or a role that was, current at that time. But also we can see that this isn't just an extension. This is incredible. He is saying that what you declare bound on earth will be bound in heaven. It should make your head explode. The other gospel is Jesus with the disciples after the resurrection. And they've been fishing. They don't catch anything. Jesus says, throw the nets over the other side. They make a great catch. And so they realize that it's Jesus. After they have breakfast, Jesus asks Peter, "Do you agape me more than these others? So do you have this much love for me?" And Peter says, "I like you. I philios you. I have a filial love for you." And Jesus doesn't say, "Hey, why isn't it more?" All right. He says, "Tend my sheep." So in other words, I know you're not up here. Even if you're only here, your role is going to be tend my sheep. Then he says, "Peter, do you agape me?" It's not up here. It's only here. It's like, "Do you have this love for me?" And Peter says, "Lord, you know that I like you. I philios you." He says, "Feed my lambs." And then the third time Jesus says, "Peter, do you philios me?" He's come from up here down to Peter's level. And he says, "Peter, do you like me?" And Peter says, "Oh, you know everything, Lord. You know that I philios you." And he says, "Tend my lambs." In other words, what he's saying is, I want you to be the shepherd. And this goes back, that's John's gospel. If you go back to chapter 10 in John's gospel, Jesus says that he has to go and preach to other people so that there will be one flock with one shepherd. And so what we see in these two gospels is this incredible role that St. Peter has to basically to lead the church, to be a modern example, someone said, is like the prime minister. Yes, Queen Elizabeth is queen, but Boris Johnson is the prime minister. So Jesus is still Christ the King, but the Pope is his prime minister, if you will, on earth. God bless you.